Well, tonight a mother facing charges after authorities say she helped her 16-year-old escape from a DJJ facility in Columbia. Department of Juvenile Justice officials say the teen escaped from the complex Sunday night and was found in a car with her mother. Savannah Mills is charged with aiding the escape of a prisoner after the teen was found in her car. She was taken to the Alvin S. Glenn Detention Center. The child taken back to DJJ and now faces escape charges. And if you want to use your phone when you're behind the wheel, you might want to think twice. The state's new hands-free law went into effect today. Until now, South Carolina's texting and driving law only banned sending or reading text messages while driving. Now you can't even touch the phone, and penalties are much stronger. Our Megan Gagno following that story. She's live now in Columbia. What do drivers need to know out there, Megan?
That's right, Brian. The hands-free distracted driving law is now in effect, but drivers will still have 6 months until they start to see these fines. Under the law, drivers still face penalties for scrolling or using their phone while behind the wheel, but now they also can't hold their phone with any part of their body, and using your phone for FaceTime, streaming, or games is strictly off limits. During the first 180 days of the new law in effect, law enforcement will only be issuing warnings for violations. But after the 180 days are up, first-time offenders can expect a $100 fine, and for the second time within 3 years, $200 and 2 points on their driver's license. Officials also point out that drivers with a commercial license could face serious consequences with the violations under the law. People I talked to today say there's no excuse for distracted driving.
Every car has like a hands-free system, so utilize it.
It's better to miss the call and risk someone's life. Yeah.
Hopefully it does help with, retention of, less accidents, less injuries and things like that. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Now, there are some exceptions to the hands-free law. Drivers who are lawfully parked or stopped, drivers using voice activation, or also any hands-free method, and those who are reporting traffic violations, hazardous conditions, or medical emergencies. Law enforcement and first responders are exempt from following the law while performing official duties. In Columbia, I'm Megan Gagno, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Thank you, Megan. Also tonight, take a good look at your screen. Columbia police are looking for this woman. This is Angela Fuller. She hasn't been seen since Friday. A loved one reported her missing. Now, Fuller was last seen along North Beltline Boulevard in Columbia, 3000 block of North Beltline. If you see Angela Fuller or you know where she is, police are concerned. Call Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. Also tonight in Richland County, deputies searching for this man, 62-year-old Danny McCray. He was last seen Sunday morning. Authorities say McCray suffers from medical complications and they believe he is in danger. Deputies say McCray could be driving a black Chevy Equinox with South Carolina license tag UHU473. If you see Danny McCray or you know where he is, call 911. Of course, Watch Fox News will continue to dig for the very latest on those stories and everything we cover for each and every day here at Watch Fox News. When we know, you can know. Get real-time alerts sent right to your phone. Download the Watch Fox News app. That's why the QR code is there. Scan it right now and you can do that, or just go straight to the website, WACH.com. And workers here in the Midlands are using this Labor Day to speak up about their rights. Less than 5% of the private workforce is unionized here in South Carolina, but that small group is making sure their voices are heard during a march through downtown Columbia today. Our Brawley's Pimentel was there. She's live now at the State House. What's the group asking for here?
Union members and their allies marched right here this afternoon to the State House. They say workers are under attack and they want to change the narrative on how workers are treated in South Carolina. Local labor unions and community members chanting outside the State House for a Workers Over Billionaires rally and march on Monday. More than 70 different unions from across the state, all carrying similar signs to fight corporate greed and demand a better quality of life. Boris Gibson, the president of the state's AFL-CIO, says they're giving a voice to workers.
The issue is unfair wages, unfair work practices, unsafe environments. When you go to work, you want to go to work where you'll be able to come home and and the same when you left, you want to come home to your family.
Gibson says most workers aren't able to work in safe environments or get fair wages because there isn't a union or they can't join one, with threats from their bosses. According to the latest Bureau of Labor Statistics, 61,000 workers in South Carolina were in a union in 2024. That's a little less than 3% of the workforce. Worker advocate Angel Lee says health care and proper benefits are amongst rights they deserve.
Here in South Carolina, 78% of us have no paid family or medical leave. 1 in 5 of us is an immigrant. And people with disabilities like myself know this, that disability rights are workers' rights.
Lee says every worker, immigrant, and disabled person is rising up against billionaires and demanding that elected officials make a change.
When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
Lee says they demand fairness, dignity, and the freedom to live, work, and retire in security. Other union leaders agree and say they will not stand for the pain or mistreatment any longer.
Like, we need the protection, we need the money. At this point, everybody has these passions for all these jobs, but the passion's getting watered down because we're getting treated like bottom of the barrel trash, and it's not right. It's not fair at all.
Union leaders say it's important to be vocal, but every worker should be at every election. They say voting for people who care about the working class will bring real results. Live at the State House, I'm Bralise Pimentel. Watch Fox News, local first.
Well, time now to highlight the everyday heroes we see right here all around us. This week, teaming up with the Jeffcoat Law Firm, as we do every week, to tell you about a local playwright who writes plays about strong women and gives a voice to struggles that many women go through. Clara Faith shows you how we're paying it forward.
Alrighty, well, my name is Clara Faith. I work for WACH Fox here in Columbia, South Carolina, and this is Ms.
Hi, I'm Kim Jeffcoat. I'm the Chief Community Officer for the Jeffcoat firm.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
And Jamie Irvin actually nominated you for our initiative called Pay It Forward, where we highlight everyday heroes, and we want to highlight you for your beautiful, amazing plays that you have showcased.
Thank you. Thank you. And we understand that you're a playwright and that you are telling important stories for the women of our area, for the Midlands and of South Carolina. And you also help other students and other people participate in your plays, and you're raising money to support some initiatives. And so today we are going to be giving you $500 cash.
Oh my
and
gosh.
this is to support the work that you do so that you can continue to pay it forward.
Thank you, and I will.
You're welcome.
I know you kind of talked about it earlier. What makes you do what you want to do?
I just love writing. I love writing, creating stories, and then watching the audience engage in it and laugh and leave the theater feeling happier and refreshed.
And why was it important for you to highlight her?
Because she is someone who has championed women's issues in the Midlands, and she is just such a fabulous writer. She'll make you laugh, she'll make you think, and I just think that it's so cool that somebody in this area writes such good work.
Awesome. And if you'd like to nominate your next Pay It Forward, go to watch.com under the feature page, Pay It Forward. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, good stuff like every week. Hey, you probably know someone like that doing some good in your neighborhood, maybe? Well, you want to nominate them? You can make them the next Pay It Forward recipient. Just scan the QR code on the screen right now for the information. Brings you right to it. And you can also hop on the website right now, WACH.com. Well, every month here at Watch Fox News, we celebrate groups and people who are making the place we call home a better place to live. This month, we're highlighting a local couple transforming young people's lives through love, experiences, and quality time. Our Carolina champions this month, Kenya and Roy Washington. They started something called the Royal K Motivational Group. Started with just a few of their own children's friends and teammates hanging out at their home, turned into a full-blown mission. Ages 3 to 21 are involved here. Royal K teaches things like resume writing, reading, budgeting, even something like how to tie a tie the right way. Kenya says the group runs mostly on out-of-pocket money. They host game nights, field trips, and step in as extra moms and dads when they need to. They have support from volunteers and staffers to help kids not just survive, but also thrive.
And a lot of their friends would say, dang, y'all have a mom and a dad? And we didn't realize that it was so uncommon So we would say, well, y'all could come over and y'all could have a mom and a dad too.
Now, Kenya says the name Royal K is special to them because it is a mix of Roy and Kenya's name. Good work. Well, Carolina Champions certainly wouldn't happen without the Shelley Leak Law Firm. If you'd like to nominate someone as a Carolina champion, go to our website, click the story for more information, or you can email our Kiana Jordan for more information. You can find that email on that story. And people taking advantage of the nice weather this Labor Day holiday, and many visited Market Common along the Grand Strand. People there shopping some of the Labor Day weekend deals. During an interview with the president of Visit Myrtle Beach, they said there's been a mix of businesses thriving this summer season. Others faced some economic struggles. More than $13 billion spent nationally during Labor Day weekend in the past. Some businesses said this weekend they've seen even more clientele than in past years. Most of their sales going through tourists. The Style Me Boutique, just one place that saw an uptick in customers this Labor Day weekend.
It's been really good. We've had a big sale, 60% off of like a lot of our items. So it's been pretty busy. We've had the doors open, people have been coming in, and then obviously it'll get slow, but then it's mainly been super busy.
Super busy, what everyone wants to hear on a holiday weekend, or any weekend for that matter. A lot of other folks out there were just window shopping, but if they were tourists, they were spending money to be there. And over the weekend in Minneapolis, the Annunciation Catholic Church having its first Mass. This was Saturday evening. First Mass since last week's deadly shooting during a church service Wednesday morning. 2 children were killed, 18 people wounded, most of them were children. Saturday's Mass was in the school's auditorium there, since the church is still considered to be an active crime scene. Pope Leo XIV addressing that shooting in his Sunday remarks, calling the incident a, quote, pandemic of arms. And coming up tonight at 10, new laws promise to keep babies safe from dangerous metals in their food, but it has a lot of folks asking if the laws are actually working. Tonight, Spotlight on America investigates the gaps in transparency from manufacturers and the response coming from the feds. That's coming up tonight on the news at 10.
And before we send you off for the evening, a final check of our 10-day forecast, and it's looking just as nice for this first week of September as it was for the final week of August. Tomorrow, virtually a repeat of today. You're likely going to need a jacket first thing in the morning tomorrow and on Wednesday morning with lows near 60 degrees. We are going to get back to that summer heat. Summer's not done yet. We are returning to the 90s by Friday. Should stay put there through the weekend. What timing? The first South Carolina Gamecocks home game and the heat suddenly returns.
At least it's at night.
That's true.
But that means it's a long afternoon in the sun.
Yeah. Yep. So
pack your water.
Go figure.
And your electrolytes.
Yes. But
in addition to what the normal tailgate fare.
Other fluids of choice.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. We know those will be there.
Yeah, no doubt.
But still, not a bad reminder that summer's still here.
That's right. Rain shouldn't get in the way, so at least we'll get the game.
It has been.
Yeah, I know.
It has been.
We've had a nice break from that
well,
recently.
Well, good. That means high school football on Friday will be good, and all the college throughout the weekend will be good as well. That's going to do it for this digital version of the news at 5, but we will see you tonight on air on Watch Fox News at 10.